If you order delivery or you do delivery, or maybe you're an Uber driver that focuses just on passengers, I made this podcast for you. Over the weekend, I tried to earn $2,000 as a delivery driver, working Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all day, 12 hours a day. I didn't do it, but I have some amazing lessons learned, and I'll give you all the numbers. I'll give you everything you want to hear about it and more. Hi, my name is Levi Spires. This is the Tip You in the App Daily Drive podcast. Today's Daily Drive podcast is brought to you by the Gig You app. Now, Uber has been giving out some really big bonuses for Uber Eats drivers, at least here where I live. In fact, this week, I think there's $1,160 in Uber Eats bonuses just this week, Monday through Saturday or Sunday. So there's a lot of money to be made. And so I've been doing more delivery. Now, I almost exclusively do Uber driving with passengers. That's what I enjoy. I like meeting the people. I like doing that. Delivery is a totally different beast. Driving people versus driving food, the experience is night and day. It's completely different. So I wanted to just give you everything I have from this, but let me first explain these bonuses. This is how they work. The bonuses for me are in one particular city. Right now I'm getting them in Ithaca. I've gotten them in Syracuse. I've gotten them in Binghamton and other cities around central New York where I live. But right now they're focusing on Ithaca. Ithaca, New York is where Cornell University is. There's also Ithaca College, and it's a small little city, an island in the middle of nowhere. That's like 26,000, 30,000 students between the two colleges in this small little area. And the way the bonuses work are like this. You'll get them. The bonus I'm going to show you starts at 5 p.m. and it goes for 5, 6, 7, 8, 4 hours. So in 4 hours, I got to complete 9 trips and I get $27. If I do 4 more trips, I get an additional $18. 2 more trips, I get $14, and then 2 trips, I get $16. So the order for it to count in that window, I have to pick it up, or I have to accept the order at 5:01. If I accept it right at 5 o'clock, sometimes it doesn't count. So if I accept an order at 5:01, it counts for those bonuses. And then any order I pick up right around 8:59, or I accept right at 8:59, it also counts, even though I might deliver it after 9 o'clock. So there's like this window of time, and it incrementally gets harder. So to do 9 orders in those 4 hours in that small little city, pretty easy. To do 13 deliveries, you can do it. To do 15 deliveries, that's hard. To do 17 deliveries, you have to take exclusively short trips. In fact, my strategy to complete all these bonuses, because I get a bonus I think the first bonus starts at 8 in the morning, then it goes at 11 in the morning, then it goes 2 in the afternoon, then 5, then 9, and then midnight. And then it does the cycle again, then it does a cycle again. So you can kind of pick the windows in which you want to drive. But they're really, really short orders. So like there'll be like a $3 order and you only go a half a mile and it takes you 15 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever. So my plan is to only take the shortest trips possible, kind of ignore the fare and the tip and only focus on the distance of the trip. As long as the trip is under 15 minutes from the time I accept the order to the time I go pick it up and deliver it, 15 minutes total, I can do it. And for the most part, over the weekend, I started on Friday. I started at 11, right before 11 a.m. on Friday morning, and I drove all the way till about midnight on Sunday. And yeah, I completed almost all of the bonuses, each one of these little segments, if you want to call it that. And I did good. Let me give you the numbers. I'll go right down to it. No, I'm not going to hold anything back here. So again, I thought I'd earn $2,000 and I've got a lot of notes. So bear with me as I keep looking down. On Friday, I earned $270 in fares, $144 in promotions, and $121 in tips. So $541 on Friday. On Saturday, $525. On Sunday, $412. So over the weekend, I earned $1,479. The $2,000 was a stretch, thinking I would get bigger orders. in during that short little windows, but I didn't do that. And I also didn't hit all of the bonuses. Typically, the biggest bonuses, the biggest segments happened at the end of a 3 or 4 hour shift. And I'd always miss one or two, not always, but about a third of the time I missed one or two of those rides. I wouldn't get it. And I just wouldn't do it. I was hoping that Uber would give me a ride, but they didn't. And also remember, now it bleeds over to the next one. So if I got an order at 4:59, and it takes me 15 minutes to complete it, that takes 15 minutes off of that next segment. So you can see how the game is. And that's probably one of my first lessons is like Uber gamifies this. It's fun and it's hard, but it's not fun sometimes because Uber controls the game. They set the game, they're the referee, they're your opponent. They do all of it. So the fares represented 43% of my earnings, promotions 32%, and tips 24%. Now, if I didn't have the promotions, you can imagine tips would be almost a third, if not more, of my earnings during that time. My revenue was, I did that, 1,400. I drove 398 miles. My cost per mile for my Tesla is 30 cents per mile. So my total costs were $119. That's pretty good. That means I made $1,360 in profit. Now, I was online for 33 and a half hours, and I was active on a trip 32 of those hours. That means 96% of the time I was either going to pick up food, standing there waiting for food, delivering food, or standing on somebody's front porch in the snow, waiting for them to come out and take their food. So 96% of the time, my profit per hour. This is my profit. This is after expenses, which includes covering for electricity, maintenance, depreciation on my vehicle, was $40 an hour. That's good money. Uber, if you continue to give me these bonuses like you were doing this week, I'll continue to do it. So that's awesome. I did 126 deliveries, and that means my profit per delivery was $10.80. And it was about 3.2 miles per delivery. There you go. That's the numbers. Now let's get into some of the lessons learned. Now these lessons learned, these are not necessarily in any particular order, but I have some really good notes. The biggest note to myself, never, ever would I order delivery. Not in a million years. I'm shocked at what people pay and how much they pay for cold McDonald's food. It's nuts to me. It's nuts. Delivery is absurdly expensive for a lot of times really crap food. And then even if you order from a really good restaurant, it just takes time. So the food by the time it gets to you is nowhere near as good. And there are many times people would, I'd stand out on their front porch for 5 minutes, ringing their doorbell, calling them, they're not answering. And so I would leave it on their front porch in the snow. I don't know. I don't know why. That food can't be good. So maybe they're just really rich. They don't care. That could be the case. I mean, it is Cornell University. I don't know. But yeah, it was just, and here's the other thing. It's kind of gross. I love my fellow delivery drivers. I really do. It's when I'd see them on the road, I'd wave and smile, and we'd be there in line waiting for the restaurant to get the food ready. It's always kind of cool. But you go and look at some of those cars, no way. Those cars are a mess. It was gross. A delivery driver does not maintain their car the same way that a car that drives people. So if you've ever been in your worst Uber, you know what I'm talking about? Like the really dirty Uber, 10x that. That's a delivery car. And then a lot of times the food was open. And what I mean by open, like especially like drinks. I picked up orange juice for this one person. They ordered like a breakfast burrito and it came with orange juice, and it came in one of those coffee cups, but the coffee cup had like an open lid where the hole was open. And I mean, I put it in my container but there was no lid. It was like their orange juice is open to the air. Now my car is really clean because I take people. I have a Tesla and I pride myself in having a clean car. But I imagine that orange juice, if somebody rolled their window down, they were smoking cigarettes and then dust flying around and who knows what kind of animals and stuff were in their car. There are delivery drivers with animals in their car. Who knows? Who knows? So no, it's gross. I wouldn't do it. Yeah, no way. I did mess up orders twice. That's my second thing. The bags look very similar, and you kind of get into this rhythm where you kind of zone out. You're in your car by yourself for 12 hours listening to podcasts or whatever, and they stack orders. And there was no way I could make money if they didn't stack orders. So you couldn't do like a $3 delivery, and you have to do like a $3 delivery, then they add another $3 delivery, then they add a $10 delivery or whatever. And that stacking is what makes it organized. And so you put everything, at least I do, in a bag, and I'd see that bag over there. And sometimes, well, twice, I grabbed an order, and the names on the orders and everything don't match up sometimes. It's like it's order 553 whatever, and the name is, let's say, Ashley. The Ashley is really small, so if you're not paying attention, you can do it. So I put Jason's order to Ashley, and I gave Ashley's order to Jason. But thank God it's in a small area. And then when I went to go drop off the other order, I realized I had the wrong bag, and I drove all the way across town. I raced and I fixed these orders. Nobody was upset. Everybody got their food, but I did mess up twice. My bad. Waiting in the snow, or waiting anytime, it's the worst. Customers rarely answer their phone or their text messages. So you order food. I'm picking on you, delivery order people. And this happened a third of the time, maybe half of the time. Now, I know a lot of them are college students, so their brains aren't fully functioning yet. Their frontal cortex, or whatever they say, is not to your 26. But there are so many times people would order a big order of food, whatever it might be. And I'd text them, hey, I'm on my way. And when I show up, the delivery instructions will say something like, go up to the 5th floor and deliver my food or whatever. I'm like, okay, sure. And so I have to find a way to get into their building, and their building has a code, but they didn't have the code. So I'm calling and texting them saying, I need the code to get in to give you the order. No one answers. Or even worse sometimes is they'll say like, meet me at the door. So I'm standing out in front of their gross college apartment or whatever, these old homes that are renovated kind of, so people can live in them, like 100 people can live in one dorm in one building. And I'll be standing out on the front porch. The wind's blowing. It's cold. It's snowing. And I'm standing there holding this bag of food. And they're like, meet me at the door. But nobody answers the door. You knock, you ring the doorbell. They can't let you in. And it's like, And I think to myself, like, I could just leave it on the porch and I'd probably be okay. But if they didn't get their food, they would just call Uber and then complain that I didn't deliver the food. It sucks. That's just the worst. I don't know. I don't know how people order food. I'm thinking like if I go to a restaurant and I order food, I'm like looking, are they bringing my food out yet? I'm like excited to get my food. I can't imagine ordering Chipotle, being hungry enough to order the food and not watching my phone looking for it to show up. I do whatever. And then people, okay, I know you think your delivery instructions, if you're ordering delivery, make sense. They don't. I really want to understand your instructions. I want to give you the food. I get paid $3 on this order, whether it takes me 10 minutes or 20 minutes. So the sooner I get it done, the better. Most delivery instructions are just not very clear. And I think a lot of times the delivery instructions, the people that order delivery food, they do it a bunch of times. They don't realize their delivery instructions are still the same for an old place, even though they're in a new place now, if that makes any sense. So delivery instructions, houses, you can't find the number. Like at night, especially, it's dark. People will say like the greenhouse, and I'll be like, there's like 3 houses in a row that are green, and none of them have numbers. And so you don't want to walk up to a house at 11 p.m. at night where nobody has their front porch light on and get shot. So there's a lot of interesting things there. It's inevitable. I think there is a correlation of the people that order the largest amounts of things. Like I did some grocery pickups where it's like they order 2 cases of bottled water. They're always on the top floor. They're always the hardest to get into. It's the worst parking situation, and they're the lowest tippers. You have no idea how hard it is to find parking, unload your car on a busy street, to then carry all these cases. It's not like I have a dolly with me or anything else, all the way to find a way to sneak into your building, find a way to sneak into the code on the elevator to get all the way up there and drop off that food for your $1 tip. And people will say, like, you took the order. Look, I have no idea what that order is. I have no idea. All it says is I'm getting paid $4 or $10 or whatever to pick up food or pick up something. I don't know what it is. And I don't know what the tip is either. Uber hides all that data from me. So all I know is I'm getting paid $4 for an order. And it's not until I get to the place that I understand what that order is. And then what am I supposed to do? Cancel? And then if I cancel, Uber flags me for canceling. So it's a guess. It's a big guess. Waiting. Excuse me. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, that's right. Uber bundles good orders with bad orders. Now I'm in a small area, so you'll see a bad order come through all the time. And you know this is a bad order because it's going to pay $3 for 30 minutes worth of work and it's going to drive 6 miles. And you're like, I'm never going to take that order. Just decline, decline, decline. The person didn't tip, whatever. Never going to take that order. I'll take a $3 order if it takes 5 minutes, but not that long. So I'm decline, decline, decline. And then what Uber does is they'll send me 2 orders and they'll bundle it. It'll like, oh, that order looks really good. And what it is, they hid that bad order with a good order. And I'm savvy enough to catch on to you, Uber. I'm never going to take that. I'll just zoom into the map and look and be like, oh, that's that bad order sitting out there. So somebody paid a lot in fees, maybe gave a big tip, and the big tip person is floating for the small tip person. And how do I know this? I think only one person, maybe 2 out of the 122 orders tipped me more than what they promised in the upfront tip. So whatever that pre-tip is, whatever the first tip is what we're going to get. One person did change the pennies, and that doesn't really matter. But for the most part, that first tip is what you're going to get. And that means people that pre-tip a lot of money, they're cash flowing all the non-tippers. I don't know what the solution there is because the big tips are the ones that drivers go after. I think as drivers, you just have to be savvy enough to find a way to not take those small little orders and just continue to not, if they bundle it together, decline, just don't take it. It does feel like a game. The whole process of being a delivery driver is like a big game. It's frustrating. It's fun. You feel like you're accomplishing things, but at the end of the day, it can be frustrating because, again, Uber controls the entire game. It's like going into a casino and the odds every time you play are controlled by the casino. It's like playing a slot machine, but at a table. I don't know. That's not a really good metaphor. It just feels like a big game, and that's frustrating and it's hard. 1 minute waiting always costs money. So every time you make a driver wait, you're costing low wage, poor people. That's what we are. If you're a delivery driver, you're not rich. Nobody's a rich person delivery driving. It's costing that person money. Oh my God, this is really good. This is really good. Drivers are forced to park in questionable spots, like illegal spots, like in front of fire hydrants, in handicap spots, double parking. The restaurants are not that hard. Now I live there's a college town area, and there's some hard parts to pick up there, but it's mostly the drop-offs, the apartments, especially in downtown areas. You have to leave your car somewhere, and you park in questionable spots. I've gotten a ticket for illegal parking. I was in a truck loading zone or something like that, and I got a ticket, and that person made me wait. That's the thing, is I'm illegally parking for your $3, your $1 tip to go up to the 5th floor of your apartment, and I get a ticket, a $15 ticket. There's just no consideration for the drivers in that whole situation. Some restaurants are really efficient and really good. Some restaurants are horrible, and I just avoid them. But I think restaurant workers really dislike delivery drivers. If you work at a restaurant, let me know. But I think it's like driver after driver comes walking in with their phone, holding it up. And I tried my best to smile and be kind and nice to the restaurant people, but most of them wouldn't even look me in the eye. It's like the disdain was the highest. It's like the bane of the earth. Another delivery driver shows up and you walk right through the restaurant. And remember, you're getting paid a flat rate. So speed is everything. and you're illegally parked maybe, and you're trying to like, you walk up to that counter and be like, this is the order. And so what I tried to do was get in the habit of being like waving and smiling, hi, and they'll be like, delivery for who? And a lot of times they don't speak English that well. And I'm like, for Robert. How do you say the name? And then you show them. You have to show them the phone, and you can look. Oh god, they really dislike drivers. Um, at McDonald's, there's like two McDonald's in Ithaca, and they're the worst. The worst. I would never. First of all, I would never order McDonald's delivery because French fries last what 5 minutes, even tasting good. But they're the worst. They make you stand there 5, 10 minutes waiting for those orders, and they're just disheveled. Taco Bell was really bad, but some of those Asian restaurants in the college town area, the best. They had their stuff together. Their bags are packed perfectly. And you walk up and you're like, I'm here for Robert. And they're like, Robert, here you go. They'll just hand it to you. Done. Some restaurants, they just leave the food out. I could have grabbed 10 orders. Nobody would know. I didn't, but yeah, just all these orders sitting out and you could just grab it. Nobody checks. Nobody cares. A special shout out to the 7-Eleven in the college town. Those guys, it's a 24-hour 7-Eleven in the Cornell University College town. That place is great. They had everything organized and together. There's like 6 guys in there working. They got great music playing the whole night. It's a good place to just sit down, take a break. They have a bathroom. It's hard to find parking to get there, but if you can park right around there, they're the best. They have every single order always ready to go. And it's always inevitable. I walk in and I'm like, I'm here for Robert. And what am I picking up? I'm doing Uber Eats for a bag of chips for Robert or a Snickers bar. Like people are ordering the dumbest things. But yeah, like I say, 6 out of my 10 orders had an increase in price. I think 2 of them were increased tips, but 4 times the fare changed because I was sitting at the McDonald's forever. So I would sit at McDonald's for like 20 minutes on a couple of these orders and I stopped going. But I sat there for like 20 minutes and Uber paid me an extra 50 cents. I got 0 cash tips, no tip baiting, which is great. Nobody pulled their tip back. Orders picked up, not wasted. Yeah. There were times when I would go to a restaurant and I would say, I'm here to pick up Robert's food. And the restaurant would be like, Robert's order is already picked up. But nobody clears it out of the system and I don't know. So you go to that restaurant and you spend 5, 10 minutes driving there and it's like, waste of time. And you're like, oh, it is what it is. And again, Uber got their money. That person got their food. The restaurant got their money, but the low wage driver, they're the ones losing out. So drivers trust orders to get the order right. This is a great story. This is the best. I went into a Wendy's drive-through at like 12:30 at night. And the inside was closed. You have to go through the drive-through. And I waited like 10 minutes, 15 minutes in the drive-through. And when I get up to the window, the guy was like, oh, hey, there are no more hamburger patties. The customer had ordered, I don't know, Wendy's Baconator or something like that. But they had no more hamburger patties. And he said, so we gave them chicken nuggets or something instead. And I was like, man, I don't give a rat's what you put in that bag. You could fill that bag with ketchup packets and napkins. I'm delivering whatever you put in that bag. I could care less what goes in those bags. All the bags come out sealed half the time. And so they got tape over them. So how do I know what restaurants put in those bags? You cannot blame the driver for coming in and grabbing food and delivering the food. Whatever name's on there, that's the order you're going to get. And I just wanted the bonus. In fact, it was like a $3 order. The kid had tipped like $1. And it was like, there's no way you can put whatever you want in that bag. That's what's getting delivered. And I hope that kid liked his chicken nuggets. And now you're like, Levi, you should do good customer service. Let's go through this scenario. I spend 5, 10 minutes driving to this Wendy's. I get there and I wait 5, 10, 15 minutes in line. I get to the window. So now we're 20 minutes into this, give or take, 30 minutes, whatever. And the guy says, we have no hamburger patties. Let's say I bird dog this. I try to contact this person to solve their order for them. Wendy's is going to kick me out of that line, make me go back into the drive-through line. They're not going to let me sit there and try to call this person because that kid's not going to answer the phone anyway. I will text him and call him. He's never going to answer the phone at 12:30 at night. So I'm trying, even if I tried to fix that order, the kid's not going to answer the phone, and B, the order itself what's he going to do? He's just going to cancel. Then I'm going to get paid zero. Zero. There's no incentive for me to fix that order. None. And not for $3. I'm just going to take my $3 and run. Let's see here. Apartment entry codes. Apartment dwellers. If you ever see drivers in your place, a lot of times drivers just memorize the codes. And there are some shared bathrooms that I know drivers are going to go use. Yeah, I know. And here's the other thing. I've seen drivers bring bags of food with them into bathrooms. Not just those, but like at restaurants, stuff like that. Because you'll stack orders. So you'll walk from one restaurant to the next because they're all right there. And like once you find parking, you have to park and then walk to all the restaurants. So you take bags of food with you, but you have to use the restroom as you're waiting. So they take their bags of food into some dirty restaurant bathroom. And so your bag of food was in a bathroom with a delivery driver. So gross. No way. Okay. I nearly slipped off a dozen porches this weekend. So it's like you want to take a photo of the food on the porch. So you grab your camera and you like back up to get a photo. And I literally almost walked myself off a couple of porches. Food delivery is quieter. It's definitely more of a logistics thing to think about. Did the bonuses. I listen to an audiobook and I listen to podcasts. I listen to a lot of music. Okay, now the best thing. Let me give you the best thing. I had a Tesla. Made it so good. All right, so the Uber app connects to my Tesla. So I go in the restaurant and I grab the food and I say, order picked up, ready to go. It sends the address to the next place I'm going to go to the Tesla. So I walk up to the Tesla because I have my phone with me. I got my phone right here. And I take my phone and I go up to my car. It automatically unlocks because all I need is my phone. I don't need a key or anything. And then when I get in the car and I buckle the seatbelt, the address is already in the map and I hit boop. I hit self-drive and the Tesla just drives to the next spot. I let Tesla FSD handle 85% of the driving. I did drive when I got close to certain areas and I wanted to park and stuff like that. But I literally just sat there half the time. I just hit a button and the car drove me to the next spot and drove me to the next spot, drove me to the next spot. Somebody asked me, like, did you get to eat any canceled food? And I said, no. Seeing the system from the inside makes delivery less appealing. That's my final note. I don't think food delivery. Now, I live a blessed life. I have a lovely spouse. We've been married 28 years. I don't know. She's great. She cooks everything. In fact, I was telling her, hey, we got $1,000 worth of bonuses this week. I got to get some videos recorded and I'm going to probably do some more Uber driving this week to do delivery, make some money while I can make the money. And she's like, well, when do I need to cook meals? So, but it's got to be expensive. It's really gross. The food can't be that good. It just can't be worth it. And now let's go to the money side. You're going to be like, Levi, you sound like you're complaining. I'm not. I make good money. I am not complaining. $40 an hour after expenses. No complaints from me. It was kind of chill, but there are problems. And I realized that my bonuses and my situation is unique. There are delivery drivers around the US working for a third of what I made this week. And they're getting the same treatment from Uber and from people that order food. The same treatment of like not answering their phone, going to places to pick up stuff, treating you poorly. Yeah. The delivery driver, the Uber driver, the DoorDash person, we're the lowest of the low in America. It's like the new McDonald's worker. And most of them are older adults, like 35, 40 and older. It's not like a bunch of kids going around doing this. It's people that are struggling for money sometimes, and they're trying their best. And the system is complicated. I'll give Uber credit, man. To be able to organize this system takes a lot. I mean, in one little city, there's probably 500 drivers going around, tens of thousands of orders at any given point in time. It's really complicated. So Uber's doing a really good job on the software side. It's just the customer service side and the consideration of the driver. Uber makes sure they get paid. The restaurants make sure they get paid. And the people that order food make sure they get their food. The one person that has no standing, no ability to negotiate out of this if they get screwed over is the driver. And that's just not fair. It's just not nice. It's not a healthy American system or the lowest of the low. And I'm not trying to be negative about the drivers. I'm just saying it's a hard gig. It's a hard gig for minimal pay, and people are just rude. People are just rude. And I live in Ithaca's a nice place. Syracuse, for the most part, it's pretty nice where I live. There are some places I can't imagine doing it where people are really rude. Like, I can't imagine what New York City must be like. If you're a driver in New York City, oof. Yeah. So my lessons learned are the drivers are treated poorly, even though the pay could be good sometimes. The food can't be that good. It's a good way to make some money when you need to make some money. It is easy to do. It's physically demanding, though. It can be complicated. It's a game. It's a game that you're not going to win. You have to just take the losses when they come. And yeah, that's what I learned. I am going to do some more Uber Eats. They're paying me lots of bonuses, and college isn't in session year round. The semesters are in, so you got to make the money where you make. I'm going to try to get some normal Uber rides in too, but the Uber rides don't count toward my bonus. So I got to stick with Uber Eats to make as much money as possible. The final question that a lot of drivers ask me is comparing the two. Which one makes more money? Clearly, driving people makes more money, and it should. It should make more money. The cargo, the passenger, is much more precious, much more valuable than some bag of McDonald's food. So of course, driving people is going to pay more. And I think it's a lot more enjoyable because you get to meet people and you get to hear some of their stories. Now, granted, again, most passengers don't talk and all that kind of stuff, but even 5 passengers in a day compared to a whole 12-hour shift of sitting in my car by myself, listening to podcasts, no thanks. No thanks. Now, I'm going to do it for the money, but without the bonuses, yeah, there's no way Uber passengers pays more than Uber Eats. And I imagine it's the same for DoorDash and other things too. So let me know your thoughts. Again, these are just my random notes from the weekend. I'm going to do some more data analysis because there's a lot more data analysis. I want to validate a couple of things, but just to kind of give you a heads up. Hey, my name is Levi Spires. Drivers, I am cheering for you. I want you to be safe, healthy, and happy. Thank you so much for watching. Be well. Bye.